Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please welcome back Jackson County Sheriff Nate Sickler. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. All right, so a lot of things going on, but I want to start with C.W. Smith, former Jackson County Sheriff, passing. You knew C.W. a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't know him real well. He was a police chief when I started my law enforcement career, so I got to watch him work. He worked for a different agency, but the agencies worked very closely together, and I just thought of him as such a great guy and very kind, and he had a great sense of humor and very professional. He did a lot for our valley, so we're very sad to hear about his passing.
Want to ask you about the jail. It's kind of a repeat topic of conversation between us, of course. Where do we stand with that? It's something that you clearly and many other law enforcement agencies have talked about the need for a new jail in Jackson County. Are we getting any traction on getting anything to be considered?
Well, we're constantly working on this. This is something that we work on, I wouldn't say daily, but at least weekly. We're working with our county government to find a way to fund this project. We had the survey that went out a few months ago, and it wasn't necessarily favorable per the survey, but I think, putting our minds together at multiple levels, I think we're going to find a way that's a bit more feasible to fund this project in the future, and hopefully we'll be able to come out with something soon with regards to that. But yeah, it's still the top priority for me as a sheriff to find a way to reduce crime in our valley and to enhance public safety, and the jail is the biggest limitation to that right now, so it's certainly the top priority.
How many beds does it have, and how many beds would it need to have for this community?
So right now the cap is at 292. We're working on trying to expand that. Our staffing's full. We were able to add a few beds, so we're working on trying to up that capacity, especially during nighttime hours. So we're doing some creative things to help improve our system as it sits now. But we're going to need, at least double the capacity, and maybe even 750, because we don't want to build a jail and then fill it again. We want to have empty beds. That's the best way to do business, and the best way to serve our valley is to not have a jail that's full and that we're force releasing folks before they go to their pretrial arraignments. Okay. So we want to have the ability for inmates to serve sentences. We want to have the ability for inmates to make their court dates, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a considerable improvement once we get that project done, if it comes to fruition. Okay,
we're going to take a quick commercial break. Not much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5 again. We're here with Jackson County Sheriff Nate Sickler. So we're talking about the jail and the need for that. I'm curious, tell us briefly about the flight risk program, my words, not yours, about how you're keeping some of those folks who are repeat offenders in jail.
Yeah, we looked at our criminal justice system and to look and see what some of the big things that were bogging it down, and it was the fail to appears. It was taxing everybody, every part of the criminal justice system. So in February, I think it was the last week of February, we actually got our first person in custody. We were planning to start in March, but started in February. And, it's been working very well. The individuals who are brought in, they have it's essentially a mathematical equation of how many times they miss court, how many warrants they have, and that's how they're determined to be held. And they're getting through their cases, either being sentenced to prison or going to community justice through the probation or parole or whatever. And the cases are getting adjudicated and taken out of the system. So we're providing relief to the criminal justice system and holding people accountable. We'd love to be able to do it more, but with our limited jail space, we're doing with what we can. And we hope to maybe expand that program if we're able to expand our beds in the jail by a few.
Okay. I want to definitely ask you about IP-43. As an elected official, it's probably, I guess in my opinion, you can correct me if I'm wrong, rare for you to step out on something political. Yeah. I'm not going to read the bill, but it essentially is kind of restrictions on certain weapons, specifically assault rifles, but you say it's more than just that. You spoke out against it, if I
yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, IP-43, I believe it was misleading the way it was proposed. It bans a lot of guns other than just the AR-15. It kind of it goes after more rifles, more pistols, anything that's magazine fed. And I just don't think that that's the solution to our problem. We've had guns in our culture for years. When I was a kid, we had guns in our trucks at school, and nobody ever, thought about going up and shooting up a school or a workplace or things of that nature, or was very limited. And so I think that this initiative really just penalizes and criminalizes otherwise law-abiding citizens, and I can't support that. It's not the answer to what's going on, and I think we need to look at a lot more of the root causes before we go after anything like this. So I just don't support this initiative or think it'll make anybody safer.
Okay, good to see you.
Yeah,
thanks
for
very
having
much.
me on.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.